Okay, pre-flight checklist. Engine master switches off and off. Engine mode selector normal. Weather radar off. Predictive wind shear off. GCS auto. Landing gear lever down. Wipers off and off. Battery 1 and 2 above 25.5 volts checked. Battery 1 on. Battery 2 on. External power on. Cockpit lights as required. Good morning, Lisa. Is the cabin ready for boarding?
Good morning, Captain Stelios. Yes, the cabin is ready for boarding.
Thank you, Lisa. We will start boarding in 5 minutes.
Thank you, Captain Stelios. I'll make sure the cabin crew is ready for boarding.
Okay, we can start preparing our aircraft, Brian. EPU fire test, check. ECAM recall, normal, checked. ECAM crew oxygen in green, checked. ECAM hydraulics, checked. ECAM engine oil quantity, checked. Pre-flight checklist continue. Spoilers disarmed and retracted. Flaps lever retracted. Parking brake on. Accumulator and brakes pressure checked. I'll do our external inspection. Lisa, you can start boarding now.
Thank you, Captain Stelios. I'll start the boarding process now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aegean's Flight 680, departing from Innsbruck and heading to Prague. We are now ready to begin boarding. Please have your boarding passes ready and proceed to the gate. Thank you for flying with us today.
Okay, cockpit preparation checklist. Crew supply on. Ground control on. CVR test checked. ADIRS 1 nav, 3 nav, 2 nav. Strobe lights auto. Nav and logo lights on. Wing lights on. No smoking signs auto. Emergency exit lights armed. Cabin pressure, landing elevation auto. Probe window heat auto. air condition as required. Income electrics battery test. Checked. Engine 1 fire test. Checked. Engine 2 fire test. Checked. ISIS panel set QNH. Anti-skid on. Let's prepare our flight plan. Navigation database active. Okay, I'll tune to the 80s frequency.
End formation Foxtrot 0820 Zulu. Wind 355 F1. Visibility 6. Sky conditions, no cloud detected. Temperature 4. Dew point -4. QNH 1031. Density altitude 500 feet. Transition level 100. Arriving and departing runway 26. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if basic information service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot. Innsbruck Airport, information Foxtrot 0820 Zulu. Wind 355 F1. Visibility 6. Sky conditions, no cloud detected. Temperature 4. Dew point -4. QNH 1031. Density altitude 500 feet. Transition level 100. Arriving and departing runway 26. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if basic information service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot.
Innsbruck Tower, good morning. This is Aegean 680, ready to copy IFR to Prague with information Foxtrot.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Thank you, madam.
Aegean Airlines 680, Innsbruck Tower. Information Foxtrot is current. Cleared to Rusine via the Coco 3 Juliet departure. Then as filed. Departure runway 08, initial climb to 12,000 feet. Departure on 128.975 squawk 4755.
Cleared via the Congo 3 Juliet departure, departing runway 08, initial climb to 12,000 feet, departing frequency 128.905, squawk 7555, GN680.
GN680, read back correct.
Captain Stelios, boarding has started and the first passengers are now aboard the plane.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We will
welcome
use the
aboard
ILS-24
flight
runway approach.
680, traveling from Innsbruck to Prague. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you.
Via the
If you need
Lomki
any assistance,
8
feel free to
Sierra
contact our crew.
arrival
Thank you for flying with us today.
via
You're
Erash.
welcome, Captain Stelios. I'll ensure everything goes smoothly during boarding.
Alright, flight plan is ready. Okay, aircraft loaded. We will calculate our takeoff performance. Okay, I'm not sure about flaps 3 configuration for takeoff.
Innsbruck Tower, very good afternoon to you. It's Envoy 9 Echo Lima, Boeing 737-800. Request IFR clearance to Venice, please. Information Kilo is current, cleared to Venice via the Bren to Juliet departure, then as well, departure runway 08. The initial climb to 7,000 feet, departure on 128.975, squawk 1444, Envoy 9 Echo Lima.
Envoy 9 Echo Lima, read back correct.
Thank you.
Okay, using the ILS runway 24 approach. Decision altitude is 1358 feet. Okay, Brian, can you brief me for departure, please? Cockpit preparation checklist, continue.
Sure, Stelios. Here's the departure briefing.
Fuel pumps on. I'm listening, Brian. I'm waiting for the departure briefing. Seatbelt signs on. Radio control panel as required.
Sure, Stelios. We'll be departing from runway 08. We'll be flying the Kogo 3 Juliet departure with an initial climb altitude clearance to 12,000 feet. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climb altituding to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 4755, and departure frequency will be 128.9 or 75. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb altitude out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Thank you, Brian. Let's have a smooth flight.
You're welcome, Stelios. Let's make it a good one.
Okay, checklist, continue. Annunciator lights test. Checked. Doors checked. Cockpit door locked. ECAM. Pressurization checked. AFIS panel and MCP. Initial climb to 12,000 feet set. Oxygen masks. Checked. APU master switch on and start. ECAM fuel page checked. APU is starting. Okay, APU available. Before start checklist. External power off. APU bleed on. I'll check my charts for departure for a moment, Brian. Lisa, we are ready to depart in 5 minutes.
Thank you, Captain Stelios. I'll ensure the cabin crew is prepared for departure. Cabin crew, all doors in flight and cross-check.
Okay, Brian, we have a lot of altitude constraints for departure due to high terrain. We should be at above 9,500 feet at Rattenberg. Okay, we're ready to go.
That's correct, Stelios. We'll need to be above 9,500 feet by Rattenberg as per the SID constraints. Let's keep an eye on our climb altitude rate to ensure we meet that requirement.
Okay, we're ready to go. Before start checklist, continue. Beacon lights on. Transponder code 4755 and
Ladies and gentlemen,
Auto.
welcome aboard Aegean's Flight 680, an A320 aircraft traveling from Innsbruck to
Parking
Prague.
brake
On behalf of
set.
Captain Stelios and First Officer Brian, along with our dedicated cabin crew, Emily, Jack,
We are ready
Sarah, and
for
Michael, we are delighted to have you with us
pushback.
today. Our estimated flight time is approximately 49 minutes, cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet. Before we take off, we would like to take you through some important safety procedures. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and tightening by pulling on the strap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. In the unlikely event of a cabin pressure change, oxygen masks will drop from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you. Place it over your nose and mouth and secure it with the elastic band. Breathe normally and remember to secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life vest is located under your seat. In case of a water landing, remove the vest from its container and pull it over your seat. Fasten the straps around your waist and inflate the vest by pulling the red cap. You can also inflate it by blowing it. This aircraft has 8 emergency exits, 2 at the front, 4 over the wings, and 2 at the rear. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, bearing in mind it may be behind you. In an emergency, floor-level lighting will guide you to the exits. We appreciate your attention and wish you a pleasant flight with us today. Captain, the cabin is ready for departure.
Thank you, Lisa. We're ready to depart. Okay, Innsbruck Tower, Aegean 680 at stand number 7, requesting push and start.
Aegean 680, push and start approved. Face west.
Push and start approved. Face west, Aegean 680. Ground crew, good morning. This is the flight deck of Aegean 680 at stand number 7, requesting pushback facing west.
Ground to flight deck, good morning. Tug is on the way for pushback facing west.
Ground crew, we are ready for pushback.
Ground to flight deck. All right, release the parking brake now. We're going to start pushback facing west.
Parking brake released.
Ground to flight deck. Cleared for engine start in sequence.
Clear for engine start. Starting engine number 2. Engine mode selector, ignition. Starting engine 2. Engine 2 available. Starting engine 1. Starting engine 1. Checked.
Ground to flight deck. Acknowledged. Let us know when you're ready for pushback. Aegean 680, ground to flight deck. Pushback complete. Please ensure parking brakes are set. Standing by for confirmation of good engine start and report when ready for disconnect.
Parking brake set.
Roger, parking brake set.
Both engines available after start checklist. Engine mode selector, normal. ABU bleed off. ABU master switch off. Anti-ice on. Spoilers armed. flaps 1 set to takeoff, rudder trim reset, pitch trim, set to takeoff. After start checklist completed. Ground crew, both engines are available. You can disconnect the tag now. Thank you for your services. Good day.
All right, we're disconnecting now. Stand by. Ground to flight deck, bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and crew is clear. You're good to go. Have a great flight and see you soon.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Hello, Tower EZ28. Passing. Descending to 5,000.
Okay.
EasyJet 28 Innsbruck Tower, descent approved, maintain 5,000.
Lisa, we're ready for taxi.
5,000 EZ28.
Innsbruck Tower, Aegean 680, ready to taxi IFR to runway 8 with information Foxtrot. Taxi checklist, nose lights.
Aegean Airlines
set to
680
taxi.
Innsbruck Tower, taxi to runway 8 via Alpha.
Taxiing to runway 8 via Alpha, Aegean 680. Runway turn off lights on, wing lights on, chrono set, parking brake released, cabin crew advised. Lisa, we start taxiing now.
Thank you, Captain Stelios. Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
Tower, very good afternoon to you. It's Envoy 9 Echo Lima, Boeing 737, stand 6. Request IFR clearance, please, to Venice. Cleared to Venice via after departure, fly radar vectors to Breno, there's file departure runway 26, initial climb to 7,000, departure on 128.975, squawk 2531. Thank you, Envoy 9 Echo Lima.
Envoy 9 Echo Lima,
Contact departure on 128.975.
Before takeoff checklist. Flight controls. Checked. Predictive wind shear. On. Auto brake. Set to max. Takeoff configuration. Normal. Checked. Turn on ND. On. Weather radar. On. Transponder. On. TCAS. TARA. PAX. On. Strobe lights. On. Landing lights. On. Our lights. Oh, set to takeoff. Before takeoff checklist. Continue. Completed. Innsbruck Tower, Aegean 680 holding short of runway 08, ready for departure.
Aegean 680, runway 08, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 08, Aegean 680. We're ready to go, Brian. Parking brake released.
Innsbruck Tower, Police November, good afternoon.
Police November, Innsbruck Tower. Hello, pass your message.
Police November, load your heliport, information Golf. Request departure to the south, destination Brenner.
Brian, take over communications from now on, please.
Police November, leave via the Sierra route, 5,000 feet or below. After departure, proceed
Roger,
direct to
Stallions.
Sierra.
I'll handle the communications from now on.
Cabin crew, switch for takeoff.
Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
Beechcraft 1 Echo Charlie requesting startup.
Beechcraft 1 Echo Charlie, pass your message. Bamboo 286, welcome to Innsbruck. Feel free to taxi to parking whenever you're ready, and stay on this frequency, will ya?
We'll call Bamboo 286.
Okay, engine stabilized, thrust levers flex, man flex, SRS, runway auto thrust blue. Thrust set. A 100 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot 1 engaged.
Aegean 680, contact departure on 128.975.
Switching to departure on 128.975. Aegean Airlines 680. Innsbruck radar. Aegean
Flaps
Airlines
retracted.
680 warning, climbing past 3000.
Aegean Airlines 680, Innsbruck radar identified. Clear direct run, climb flight level 220.
Cleared direct RUM, climb flight level 220. Aegean Airlines 680.
Direct to RAM,
Condor 658, establish
flight level 200 set.
Condor 658, climb flight level 212. Condor 658, it has
Thrust
established
levers
runway
glide.
Condor 658 on final approach.
After takeoff checklist, landing gear lever up, autopilot 1 engaged, thrust levers climb, packs on, anti-ice on. Climb checklist, flaps above S retracted, valve spoilers disarmed, runway internal flights off, nose lights off, transition altitude, set QNH to standard set. Feet checklist.
Aegean 680, climb flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280. Aegean Airlines
Flight level
680.
280 set. 10,000 feet checklist, landing
Dear
lights
guests,
off,
we've now climbed
with
to
lights
altitude and you are
as
free to
required,
use
seatbelt
electronic
signs
devices. Our onboard Wi-Fi service is now available, so feel free to
off,
connect and enjoy. We are flying
cruise
on
control
A320
panel as required, turn on
estimated
NG,
flight time just under
off,
50 minutes. Weather in
decam
Prague is
status,
3 degrees Celsius, few clouds and no precipitation expected.
normal check,
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
secondary flight plan
Thank you for
copyright.
choosing
Aegean Airlines 680, Rusine approach identified. Good morning. Expect the ILS runway 24 approach into Rusine.
Expecting the ILS runway 24 approach for Prague, Aegean 680, good day.
Maintaining altitude 6200 feet, Lufthansa 306. Descending altitude 4000, Lufthansa 306.
Approach runner 248, good afternoon, information in the air. RYR 2248, Rusine approach identified, good afternoon.
I'll get a final weather report. Okay, no significant changes, no significant weather expected. We have started our approach to Prague.
Aegean 680, descend flight level 080.
Descend flight level 080, Aegean 680. Flight level 080 set. Thousand feet checklist. Landing lights on. seatbelt
Captain,
signs
cabin is ready.
on. Thank you, Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our final
Hips control
approach to
panel,
Prague,
LS
please
on.
ensure that all electronic devices are turned
Turn
off
on
or stowed
engine.
away until we have
On.
arrived at the gate. Kindly put your tray tables away, return your seats to their full upright
Progress,
position. Make sure your
GPS
seatbelt is
accuracy,
securely fastened.
height.
Upon arrival, our Aegean staff will provide information regarding your connecting flights. Thank you for your cooperation. You're welcome, Captain Stelios. I'll ensure everything is set for
Aegean
our approach
680,
to
descend
Prague.
flight level 050, turn right heading 070 vectors for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Descend flight level 050, turn right 070 degrees, vectors for ILS runway 24 approach, Aegean 680.
Cirrus Tango Oscar Yankee, contact Prague radar on 135.135.
Switching to Prague radar on 135.135. Cirrus Tango Oscar Yankee, bye-bye.
1130, Sky Travel 52 Alpha. Sky Travel 52 Alpha, contact Prague radar on 135.135.
Transition level, set QNH, QNH set. The 1000 feet checklist completed. Prague approach, Aegean 680 at 5000 feet, requesting vectors for ILS runway 24 approach.
Aegean 680, turn left heading 045.
Turning left, heading 045, Aegean 680.
Aegean 680, turn left heading 045 vectors for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Roger that, Aegean 680.
Lufthansa 574, climb flight level 280.
Climbing to flight level 280, Lufthansa 574.
Lufthansa 574, climb flight level 320.
Climbing to flight level 320, Lufthansa 574.
Approach mode activated. Prague approach, Agent 680, requesting vectors for ILS runway 24 approach.
Aegean 680, turn right heading 080.
Turning right heading 080, Agent 680.
Aegean 680, descend altitude 4,000.
Descending to 4,000 feet.
Aegean 680, 3 miles from CI-24. Turn right heading 185 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Turning right heading 185 until established on the localized, clear for the ILS runway 24 approach, Agent 680. Approach armed. Localizer blue. Localizer established. Glide slope blue. Autopilot 2 engaged. Cat 3 dual. Altimeter 1358. Runway inside.
Aegean 680, contact cruise line tower on 118.11.
Prague Tower on 118.11, Aegean 680. Glide slope captured. Landing gear down. Flaps 3. Prague Tower, Aegean 680 on final approach course for ILS runway 24 approach.
Oscar Oscar Yankee, leaving runway 06 after landing and switching to ground on 121.91.
Flaps 4.
Aegean Airlines
Spoilers
680, Racine Tower, winds 285 at 5. Runway 24, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 24, Aegean 680. Runway turn off lights on. Nose lights set to take off. Flaps full checked. Landing checklist completed. Brian, take over communications, please. Land configuration normal.
Roger, Stelios. I'll handle the communications from now on.
Cabin crew is for landing.
Cabin crew, take seats for landing.
Autopilot disengaged.
Minimum.
Continue. We're high.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Idle.
Retard. 7, 5.
Reverse. Reverse green. Diesel. Reverse side. Flaps retracted.
Aegean 680, welcome to Racine. Contact ground on 121.901.
Switching to ground on 121.901. Aegean Airlines 680.
After
Resume
landing
ground,
checklist.
Aegean Airlines 680. Afternoon, we are clear of runway 24 and ready to taxi to the gate.
Spoilers disarmed and retracted. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Nose lights.
Aegean Airlines
Set to
680,
taxi.
resume ground, taxi to parking via Delta, cross runway 12, then Lima.
Weather
Good day.
radar
Ladies and gentlemen,
off.
welcome to
Parking
Prague.
via Delta, cross
Wind
12, then Lima.
Touchdown,
Aegean Airlines
landing.
680.
Stelios.
Flaps
First Officer
retracted.
Brian, we hope you enjoyed the
Tikas.
flight as much as we enjoyed having you on board. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until
Above.
we reach our final parking position
And
and
stand
the
by.
seatbelt sign is turned off. Prague is a city
control
rich in
panel.
history and culture, known for its stunning architecture
LS
and
off.
vibrant art scene. Did you know that
Maybe
Prague
look
Castle
master
is the
switch.
largest ancient castle in the world? The weather today is a cool 4
On.
degrees Celsius with a few clouds, perfect for exploring this
And
beautiful
start.
city. On behalf of Captain Stelios,
There
First
and on
Officer
empty.
Brian, and your cabin crew, Emily,
Off.
Jack, and Sarah, we thank you for
After
flying
landing
with Aegean
checklist
Flight
completed.
680. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a wonderful